Yeah.
There's a small one in there.
Don't forget your KFC bucket.
There's a bunch of
EBZ will slap you. Yeah, I love it when if he slap me. I think
He's on the East Coast. Plus, like, ever since he came out as gay, it's like, he's not been as aggressive.
Oh, yeah. EBZ came out as gay. He came out of the closet.
Officially?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he hasn't slapped anybody since then, right?
Yeah. Instead of slapping people in the face, he slaps the cheeks now.
Yeah, he wants to slap asses.
That's fine, you know. 2019 is a very progressive year.
Yeah. Shit, I love all this.
At the end of the day, it's me they're talking about in their little circles. Is it a bad thing? Yeah, it's slanderous. But think about it, though. There are a lot of streamers out there, bro. There are a lot of streamers. Okay? Every day there's a human being who hits live. Okay? Every day there's a human being hitting live. I'm not the first to do it. But they're at TwitchCon. It's a convention, in case you didn't know. This is where you go to promote yourself. Okay? This is where, when people go to conventions, they spread awareness about themselves. They went to TwitchCon and promoted me. I mean, look at Kiaraa Kitty coming all the way to the States, talking about, oh, I want to meet up with you. And you guys doing everything you can to get me to go hang out with her. Fortunately, I realized it just didn't feel relevant to me. I didn't even know the content she provided. But fortunately, I had things to do as well. So, of course, I put my things first, and I was like, when I get a chance after, I'll meet up with you. I just didn't. Flew out right after. But fortunately, right, because then they got a chance to go to TwitchCon and express themselves.
I lost my Greyhound. I'm fucked up, dude. Help! 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 They didn't want to take me on the bus. They said I was too drunk. It's all over.
I was kind of thinking, I was like, alright, since it's a transition period at some point, how are we going to do it? Should we keep the Ice Poseidon name, or should I just make it my real name? Like, should I just change my YouTube channel to my real name? Because then, you know, I think that sort of thing is kind of needed. Because the Ice Poseidon name, I think is, you know, it doesn't seem like it matters, but to like branding, I think it does matter. Especially with, you know, future, you know, if you want a future on Reddit or something like that, then I think it's sort of needed. No, I'm not trying to escape Ice Poseidon. It's just, I think, you know, at some point you have to put it to rest and adapt and change into something else. But obviously the goal here is I would like to not be so isolated and alone with everything that I do, and I would like to have support from people around me that aren't fail. You know what I mean? So obviously I would like to get unbanned on Twitch one day, and that's you know, a certain goal that I'm probably working towards right now. Because it's such a lonely world streaming by yourself all the time. I'm sure there's Gary and all these guys, but it's a very unhealthy sort of relationship when everyone that you're streaming with is, you know, taking something from you as opposed to being like a neutral back and forth kind of thing.
I got holes in my leg, Jaeger in the keg, balding on my scalp, figure it out. Yeah, I'll go up your wife, or I'll toss your dog, pissing on the couch, my head's in a fog. Figure it out, little bruises, figure it out, little bruises, figure it out, little bruises, figure it out, little bruises.
What up, dude? How are you? Give me a hug. You called me weird the other night, you mother.
To be fair, I call everyone weird. I mean, what, and do you want me to say that you're a normal person?
No, I'm a crazy fact. I mean, are you streaming? Oh. I don't stream us. We're banned from Twitch. So I got banned from Twitch earlier. wrong. All of a sudden, he was just there, and then I got banned.
So you got banned. You know why? That's exactly it. He used the camera.
Yeah, it said a banned streamer in the camera. Meanwhile, it was in the convention. Security f***ed up.
That's weird.
Thank you. I know you support that. Thank you. Even Miss Kim supports that. He's one of the biggest people.
How are you feeling about the Reddit going down? The Reddits.
Hell yeah.
You want to know how I feel about the Reddit?
Yeah.
Got him. No, I'm kidding. I'll say, it's sad because of all the old memes and shit are gone. But I'm pretty sure that ICE archived it before it went down. I would assume, right?
That's I looked into archiving it once because I wanted to do it for the book.
Yeah.
And it seemed like it was going to be really hard to do.
It's like negativity. Maybe the people that, can't use it anymore, maybe they'll do something more positive. How can you keep doing that?
I mean, I'm sad because it would make my job a lot easier.
Oh, yeah, for you.
Well, the only thing is now it's like no new characters are going to be like the community's not going to grow. It's going to I think streamers that are in it we can maintain the same amount of views and shit, but it's not going to. I don't think new characters are going to come through. It's not going to really grow.
Well, maybe there's going to be, I don't know, something like a reformed Reddit, not necessarily Ice Poseidon.
I think he's going to get unbanned on Twitch.
Yeah.
He's going to do his thing, and he's going to start a new shit.
You think that ICE is going to get unbanned on Twitch?
Yeah, 100%.
I think so.
Because that's going to happen.
I don't know.
It's just
I'm just curious why. What makes you think?
We're purging
You got some
out the
inside info?
100%.
100%.
What's the timeline?
I'm thinking, you want to know my timeline?
Yeah.
Maybe 4 months.
4 months?
Can you just imagine how many viewers he would have his first Twitch stream?
I think in the next
It's not a lot, right?
I think in the next 6 months he might be unbanned on Twitch.
I mean, he did say on that stream yesterday that that's his goal, right?
Think about okay, he's obviously taking a hit in numbers and viewers and all that shit right now.
We all are.
But he wouldn't do it if he didn't think he would get unbanned.
Okay.
He's just, he knows what he's doing,
I gotta have faith in the man, you know what I mean? I can't the conversations that I've had with him, he seems to be confident, and he seems to be doing what he's doing for a reason. So he's been doing this longer, he knows what he's doing. So I got faith in him. We'll see.
What kind of a guy is Ice Poseidon? You have streamed with him.
I mean, it's very, very complex. What kind of guy is he? He started off as a gamer, which is something that you really need to comprehend, okay?
Right.
So gamers are people who sit and play video games for hours and hours and hours, and they don't interact with the world. They don't necessarily have the same social skills that people like you and me have had because we've been to, to social events and we've gone to college and things like that. So he's someone who's interacted with his chat when he's been live streaming. Basically, he started off playing video games. So that's a very unique personality. Okay, because video games are mostly boys. I would not say there's no girls, but it's mostly boys, and it's a very specific type of person who doesn't have a lot of social interaction. So the number one thing I would say about Ice Poseidon is that he's socially awkward. So Ice Poseidon, Paul Danino, got super successful from going into his real life escapades. So the reason he got banned from Twitch is because he was getting swatted too many times. So I guess allegedly he was flying on an airplane in an airport in America and he got swatted on the airplane. So Twitch banned him.
You say swatted, people called in a false alert that there was a problem on the plane and the authorities arrive or the SWAT team shows up.
I started briefly dating one of the 25-year-olds on his show. And he wasn't a main character, the gentleman that I dated. His name is Cameron. I met several other streamers. I met Scuff Justin Carey. I met Mexican Andy, blah, blah, blah. So Ice Poseidon used to do these streams for 24 plus hours on YouTube, where he would have people sit on his patio, or he'd put people in prisons or in his bathroom, or different streams. Have you heard about these streams where they were very, very emotionally abusive streams, but he would make tens of thousands of dollars off of them?
Right.
So the way that I met Paul is because Mexican Andy asked me to come bring him water.
Mexican Andy is a character on Ice's streams, his IRL.
Mexican Andy became a famous IRL star because of Ice Poseidon. So I had met Mexican Andy through my ex-boyfriend Cameron. And so Mexican Andy told me to come bring him water and other things. I brought him toothpaste, the basics, because he decided to stream on Ice Poseidon's patio in Los Angeles for over 48 hours. So I went over there
explain this to me, Corinne. What do you get out of this, personally and professionally?
Exactly.
A guy like Andy and Ice.
Exactly. You tell me exactly. Probably one of the biggest mistakes of my life. So now the only reason why I'm live streaming are the issues that I was telling Vincent yesterday. Number one, I believe that IRL is the future of the world, and I think you might too because you are in live streaming. And I think that we need positive male and female role models in IRL, and I'm doing the best I can to be a positive female in IRL, just like you're becoming a positive male in IRL live streaming. Second reason is because I have children and I want them to understand that my first couple months of live streaming was a huge mistake. I had no idea how viral it would get. There's no reason why anybody should want to watch me, but I have a huge following.
There are people who think that you tried to maybe not exploit Ice Poseidon, but to play along with some of the racier things that he and his gang did to gain fame and notoriety in the streaming community. How do you respond to that?
The reason I got so close to Ice Poseidon is because I was friends with his ex-girlfriend Caroline Burt, which is a huge issue because he dumped her in Austin, Texas, in front of thousands of people, and it threw her into a serious depression. And her mother called me, because our parents know each other, and her mother called me and asked me to help her.
How many people, Corinne, watch you when you stream, do you figure? How many people?
Okay, so YouTube, on YouTube, they don't keep a very good count. So YouTube is very stressful. Gucci's has done things in the past, but she is an amazing young woman, and she would never want Blade to touch her. Okay, so I believe from the text messages and the phone calls that I personally received from Gucci's that Blade touched her without her permission and consent. And Blade has touched me and shoved his tongue in my mouth without my permission and consent. Okay,
what did you say to him when this allegedly happened?
I was in shock. So when he did this to me, no one was watching. He turned both our cameras the other way, and he shoved his tongue in my mouth. But he only does that when he's under the influence of alcohol. When Blade is the ultimate alcoholic, in my Corinne opinion. When he's not drinking alcohol, he is a gentleman and a decent person. The second he starts drinking alcohol, he is a totally different personality, and it's shocking.
So you're a parent, you have children, right?
Yes.
Is it odd for you to be in this world and yet worry about children being targeted by this very?
Well, my children, my stepchildren, my adopted children have all been targeted, but thank you. The FBI has been wonderful. I don't think children under 18 should be able to have any social media account without both parental or guardian consent, number one. And number two, I think it's really important that there's no anonymous people allowed on the internet. There's too many anonymous people. I think in order to join YouTube or Twitch or any of the social medias, you should have to turn in your driver's license and actually be not anonymous so you're accountable. I've already gotten 3 death threats because of this show. And a lot of people, they text them to me because my unicorn phone number got doxxed by me by accident the first day that I streamed. I didn't know anyone would even call me, but this is a very famous phone number that anyone can text or call. It's not my real phone. This is my real phone. But the bottom line is that I've already gotten 3 death threats and dick pics and just tacky stuff. So every time someone does that to me, and they could be calling from a fake phone number, but I take photos of it and I email it to the FBI.
But how is it that somebody who could have had a comfortable life by going down one path now is going down this path where you're in chaos so much of the time?
Because I'm not in chaos. Do I look like I'm in chaos right now?
Well, you could say that. I mean, you know, your streaming is a chaotic business. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not in chaos. I'm not in chaos right now. In the beginning, I was in chaos.
But Corinne, listen to me for a minute. By going into with a live, streaming show, it's chaotic. There's no question.
I was dared to do that by Mr. Medicare and Leslie Ralph.
my question is.
Okay, so you want me to sit in Beverly Hills and stay in?
I'm just curious as to how it feels to have lived on both sides, sort of. But you just said to yourself,
it's exhilarating and it's changed my life forever, and I want to do it all over the world. If I could be anywhere right now, I'd be in Hong Kong, showing how the Chinese government is abusing the people, the children, the younger children of Hong Kong right now. I'm very interested in turning this into real news. So I've been trying to learn the best I can. I've made tons of mistakes in live streaming. I have been a little risque. Who cares? Everybody's a little risque. I've said the wrong things. I was a journalism major at USC, but my broadcast journalist teacher told me that my chest was too big, so I would never make it on the air. I've come back around now that my children are in boarding school and graduating and going off to college, and they've had amazing lives, and now I have to find myself. So IRL is actually helping me find myself.
Is this just a big brush fire that ultimately is going to burn itself out, this whole IRL streaming community?
No, it's going to get harder and deeper and stronger more, let me tell you, because nobody wants to watch fake news, okay? So right now, we're not talking about any fake news. We're talking about my experience, your experience. You're being a very professional interviewer, which I appreciate because you're my first professional interview. I've had lower level interviews, but you're professional and I appreciate you. So we need you on YouTube. We need you on Twitch. We need you on all the social media. And now I have to find myself. So IRL is actually helping me find myself. And yes, I've been in very dangerous situations, but let me tell you something. I don't regret it. I regret streaming with the live streamers who've tried to drag me into doing pornography or try to touch me without my consent. I've regretted streaming with real predators that you're trying to take down, like Blade. Only Use Me Blade is a groper, and he needs to be banned from all social media, in my opinion, and he needs to go to serious rehab for about 6 months to a year. Otherwise, he's going to die.
Hey, listen, do your kids ever watch you stream, Corinne?
Probably, yes. But I don't ask them to. They're very busy with their homework. They have to get into Ivy League schools. They have a lot of pressure. So I don't want to talk Chris, I don't want to talk about minors. We're not talking about minors, Chris.
No, I know, but I'm just
follow your own rule. Don't ask me about minors.
I understand that, but what do they have a take on this? What do they think about their mom?
Chris, do not ask me about minor children ever. Sorry, sir.
All right, you know what?
But I've got kids too. You know, they're not minors, but you know, they give me.
Well, you don't live stream the way I do.
My question to you is
I'm not talking about minors ever.
Right, that's fine. I get it. What I'm asking, I guess, is what does your family think of all this?
I mean, do I care? I'm a 40-year-old woman. What does your family think? Who cares? I think
Tonight, they might be questioning my sanity tonight.